This is Garrett Fry, the cemetery sequence lead for 3D digital map painting, and I'm going to be giving you a shot brief on 1244. So let's go ahead and take a look at the shot. We start here off to the left and pan to the right. What you're going to be doing as the map painter is you're going to be replacing this gravestone here with something a bit larger, something that comes up to about here. You need to really make sure that the new gravestone that you're adding here has the same amount of bounce light. You can see how much these shadows are being filled in. If you compare this shadow brightness to this shadow brightness, this is much brighter because of all the bounce light that's happening off of the ground and onto the gravestone. And then you can kind of see how it gradually grades off here. So we're seeing a lot less bounce up here and a lot more bounce down there. So go ahead and make sure that you're matching that bounce light, which is really, really important. And then what you're going to need to do is make sure that whatever shape that your gravestone is, that you are matching that shape on the ground so that it feels really nicely integrated. And then what you're going to be doing is adding additional gravestones throughout the shot to kind of fill up the space. This graveyard needs to feel really populated. So go ahead and fill that up and do several concepts before you really commit to a layout. And that way you can be sure to have the best design. Something that's really nice here, you can see this gravestone right here, how it's partly in the light and partly in the shadow. So if you did put gravestones somewhere around here, you can have that kind of dappled light on it. So the three different types of gravestones is something that's in the full light, which is going to be this guy here, and then something that's in full shadow, and then something that's going to be partly in the light and partly in the shadow. So you want to make sure that if it is in the shadow, that it has the same values and color that the rest of these gravestones have that are in the shadows. And if it's in the light, that you are matching the light side and the dark side. And you can see there's some of these areas here that are just a little bit blown out. You won't want to go that far in blowing it out, but you can certainly match that light side to that. So in addition, like all these shots, you want to make sure that you're not obscuring the statue here in the back. Before starting out on the shot, it's really important to familiarize yourself with the extensive photo reference in the library. It is worthwhile to do quick matte painting concepts so you can start to understand what kind of photography works for what particular situation. Also, make sure you're utilizing the asset library, especially for those shots that require continuity between environments. These assets can be a huge help, and remember that every asset has high resolution photography, so if the asset is not high enough resolution when rendered, you can overlay it with photography.